After you finish your value form using graphite or carbon pencil, you're going to be using ink techniques to create value. This is good for quick sketching, and this is also just an alternative to creating values. There are 3 different techniques we're going to talk about: hatching, cross-hatching, and stippling. Blending is the technique that you have just finished using the pencil. Stippling is just called pointillism, but it's just a point dot technique. You do not want to use a pounding technique because you'll ruin the surface. You're going to be using ultrafine Sharpies for this. If you don't have those, you can use a black ballpoint pen, but again, it's going to be a lot easier if you have the ultrafine Sharpie. Do not use a thick Sharpie. The cross hatching is simply crisscross lines, and the hatching is simply line method. The third that we're going to be talking about is called scumbling, and it's literally making just, I use an 8 pattern, squiggles. It's not really scribbling randomly. If you notice in all 3 of these examples, the darker values are achieved by closer, denser lines, closer, denser dots, and closer, dense scumbling. So again, cross-hatching, stippling, and scumbling. On your worksheet, if you do not have the worksheet, if you're at home or remote learning, you can simply trace these or hand draw these on a separate sheet of paper, and you can trace them on your laptops. I used a very light line. These are on Google Classroom. The stippling technique, what you want to do is think about your light source. So let's say this side's lighter. I would make this side darker. Again, you're going to be doing shadows too. You're going to be completing your value forms all in one of these techniques, and you're going to choose which of these. For the worksheet, I want you to choose which of these you want to do scumbling. Let's say you want to do the sphere in scumbling. Let's say you want to try the cube in cross-hatching. Let's say you want to try the pyramid in stippling. You can totally do that. Cross-hatching is simply making lines. I'm going to actually do it shorter so I can. It's making lines, and you can go parallel. If I want them darker, right now that would be called hatching. Cross-hatching, I'm going to slightly turn my paper, and it's that simple. My shadow would go this way, and I'm also going to cross-hatch. Again, you want to have that implied line. And the implied line is created when 2 values come together, or 2 colors, but for right now 2 values. So this side of the cube is darker, so I'm scumbling right up to the edge. And my shadow would definitely be getting darker than this. This was just a quick example. If I was doing a sphere, a cross-hatching, if you have a curve, something you really, really need to focus on and remember is your cross-hatching needs to follow the curve of your object. Now, I can just take this and go like this, or I could have done another curve another way. For scumbling, just going to do a quick square. Again, opposite lines are parallel. And let's say this side's darker. This is my scumbling technique. And we don't want to see your outlines when you're done. Okay? For your final drawing, you're going to use your photograph. You don't have a light box at home. Since you figured out proportion on your first value forms drawing, use the same photograph. You can put it up to a window, tape your paper over it, and trace lightly the outline. And as you can see, I used the scumbling technique. Okay, that's this technique right here. And I've created shadow, and you want to make sure you hold your artwork at a distance. Keep checking it. So this will be due on September the 28th. If you have questions, please email me. Again, this video will be on the agenda, Google Classroom, and the examples, all of these papers, worksheets I passed out in class are also on Google Classroom under week 5. Have a great day.